What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Make It Kustom. I'm Carl Fisher, and today we are gonna be doing something pretty cool. Actually, we're gonna do a couple things in this video. Actually, it's gonna be a little bit of a mashup. We are gonna use our WAZER Waterjet cut machine to solve a problem for a buddy. It's kind of like a neat little project that only that thing can really make this little part. And then we're also gonna go see Brent from Halfass Customs. So this is gonna be kind of a fun little mashup video. We're gonna talk about kind of where the shop's at with the hammers and everything, and do a little walk around. So don't forget to like, click subscribe, hit notifications, check out Halfass Customs. Have a look into WAZER Waterjet machines if you're into that sort of thing. And let's get into this. All right, so I'm just gonna do a little walk and talk because we have a few different things to make sense of in this video just to introduce everything. I got my coffee here. Thank you again for all the orders on the new hammer machine. That is what I'm currently working on. I'm just making tons and tons of scrap steel to produce hammers and parts. And so I thought this is like a really good time actually to talk about plasma cutters and waterjet machines because they both have their place in this world, and they have their place in this shop too. So we're gonna use the waterjet machine today, and it's of like a tiny, very accurate little piece of stainless that has to go underwater for camera gear, and it's like something, we're basically making a wrench anyway, I'll show you in a moment. But would I use that machine to do this? Hell no, because this is like, it doesn't have to be as accurate of like I mean, obviously it's super accurate, like we're lining up, you know, hundreds of bolt holes like every single time, but the edges, you know what I mean? Like they, on a plasma cutter, when the plasma cutter is moving, if it turns a corner, or something like that, like you kind of get like a little bit of a whip. There's like tiny little things like that. Or it creates slag, right? And the waterjet machine doesn't create slag. It has like a little burr on the edge, but you can do fine little things. And also, look at like technically, yeah, that machine could totally cut that out. It would probably fit in there almost. Actually, it wouldn't. But parts of that, it could cut it out. It has the capacity to cut that thick, but how much time does it take to cut something that thick? It's not efficient for production. I'm producing these, I have to make lots. That can't do it. But that can also cut wood, leather, plastic, like all these other things in a very clean way. So for rapid prototyping or for doing small fine parts, like super neat gauge bezels, like how are we gonna use it in this shop, and how have we used it? We've used it to make like little brass, like we had to copy little brass profiles for like a articulating gas cap, like cool little things like that. It's a neat machine. So, yeah, here's some of the other parts that we sell, like these all little bead forming kits and stuff. These are all things that we like blast out with the plasma cutter. And we wouldn't use the WAZER for that, but the WAZER could do all these like I'll show you something else cool that we've been working on for Christmas gifts for the car club. Check this out. Eh? How cool is that? And the hole spacing is for license plate bolts. So I think this is my best one. Pretty cool, right? Look at how fine that is, and it's in brass. Like, love that machine to death, but it couldn't do this. Not that small anyway. Like you could do a bigger version of this, but to do tiny finite detail, this little guy. So, Also, yeah, heading over to Brent's in Manitoba, Halfass Customs. If you don't know who that is, he's just a super good dude. Him and his wife Esther, they live in Manitoba, just outside of Winnipeg, and he's got a channel on YouTube. Go check it out, Halfass Customs. He's building all kinds of like really, like he loves like customs, right? So like cool, like 20s cars up to like 60s cars. He's building wild ones like chop tops and like not afraid to do anything. Makes chassis, makes anything. Will make anything. So okay, quick backstory. Why am I going out there? I'm going out there to work on a Dodge 3-window coupe, kind of Zephyr style, you know, chopped 3-window coupe that he built out of a 4-door and actually a couple of cars, but sort of tragedy, shop fire happened years ago and like crushed the car, and I mean everything burnt up. It like, if you're not in the know, that all happened, and we all watched it like kind of unfold on YouTube too, because he's, you know, a YouTuber. So anyway, I'm gonna go out there and we're gonna try and fix some of those damaged panels with his power hammer, and I'm gonna bring our hammer too in case we can use it out there, and just to get one into Brent's hands, his capable hands. Like having a stout, solid planishing hammer actually is pretty cool. That frame is so strong that I can see a difference in the way it planishes. So it does like transfer the polish of the dies like immediately, like it polishes your work. Yeah, not that it needs to be polished. But yeah, gonna head out there, gonna go do that. I'm leaving tomorrow, but before I go, I have to get this done for a buddy. This is what we're using the WAZER for. So we have this is a piece of camera equipment for an underwater photographer, and this little screw here, or this little hex bolt, this tightens to lock. So this had an arm on here. It had an arm on here that would tighten to lock it. So what my friend Ted has done is he's drawn up a new arm, but he's drawn up 2 of them with slightly different clocked positions so that we can choose which one will work the best for the motion here. So instead of doing a 12 point like the original was, it'll be stronger to just do a hex. I've got some 316 stainless. 316 stainless is just better for underwater corrosion resistance for salt water. And that's something I learned just by buying the material. So the objective is to use the WAZER to cut out a perfect wrench for, like, look, the smaller than the fingernail on my middle finger is that nut, right? So we need to find, like, we need to have that nice and accurate, nice and tight, not sloppy. And, you know, of course we could plasma cut that out and then file it by hand and that kind of thing, but I think the WAZER is just better suited for it. We're just gonna make that little lever, and this cap just captivates it, screws on here and here. We're talking very small hardware. Like, this is all very delicate stuff. Like, I'm pretty sure that's like a number 6. It's tiny. So anyway, that's what we were doing. So I'm gonna get started. I'm gonna grab the laptop and pull up the file. We'll get it going on the WAZER and get our piece of stainless clamp down, start cutting it out. Okay, here it is. So he's made 2 different wrenches. I don't know if you guys can even see that. I don't know. There it is. So you can see that the point is pointing at the handle, the flat is pointing at the handle, so those are clocked. Between the 2, you've got like a 12-point wrench, but it just allows for more meat all the way around here. And it just makes sense. So I'm gonna take this file, I'm gonna hook up this, and basically all I have to do is get a DXF onto here. Or sorry, you gotta take it from this DXF file, and then there's a site, wazer.com, and you put this through WAZER. And it's like this little program that writes the G code for the machine for you. It's super, super easy. And then you copy it onto here, boom, plug it into there, and you're done, basically. So I'm gonna get to that point. We'll get some material on the table. We'll start cutting these wrenches. Okay, so basically I'm done. I've just, you know, it's so easy on here. Just boom, put your file in, scale it, position it. It came in the right size. Sometimes it doesn't come in the right size if I use a different program, and it's just because my version of CAD is old. And then you just size it. It's so easy to size too, so it doesn't really matter. And then once you're through it, you just kind of like generate the job file. Tells you how much the cut will cost. It tells you how much the time is. So like for these 2 wrenches, we're gonna be at it for about 1 minute. I'm gonna use, you know, 0.3 pounds of abrasive. It's gonna cost me 25 cents to cut it, and our estimated cut cost. So I mean, you know, it's wicked. So I'm gonna put that stainless down on the bed, and here we go. All right, so I've gone through and loaded up the card, picked our file. I moved the origin to where I want to start the cut, which is at this end, just has more fastening points. I've also adjusted the nozzle height. This little cap is actually a spacer that you can adjust. You know, this exact thickness is the thickness that you want, or sorry, the distance you want away from the nozzle when cutting with this thing. So super easy. Close her down, cut material. Okay, to start cutting, press start, boom. Here we go. I did something wrong with the cut speed. The thing was ripping like whoopsie. Okay. Back to the drawing board for me, because I set the wrong cut speed. I think I forgot a decimal. Okay, let's try this again. Yeah, it's working now. Okay, here's the speed that I set it to, and here's the speed that it was supposed to be. What a dummy. But yeah, let's see what these look like. Also, I should have known by like how fast it said it was gonna cut it. It said it was gonna cut those out in like 1 minute. No, that I should have known. That's like insanely fast. It was like, but yeah, I think it's actually like a 14-minute run time, but I'm also like, I slowed everything down to make it like really, really precise. So we'll see how those come out. Okay, told you it's been a minute since I used this. So I noticed that the leads didn't work on that cut file, and it's because I didn't set them. So see these little blue marks here? Those allow a lead in. Not that it's necessary and nobody's gonna see it, and it makes no difference, and those wrenches are totally fine because they're gonna go under that little captivated cap, and they're totally fine. But I wanna do nice leads, so I'm gonna redo it. Okay, I guess I missed a lead in on one of them, but look at that. fits, but it's a little bit tight. So we could either file it out, or we could adjust our offset to be a few thou larger. Okay, so just because we did cut another one and we just changed the offset a little bit and got a little bit more room in there, and that's like straight off of the machine. It fits perfectly. It unlocks, locks. Winning! Okay, now I've got to go catch a plane. We're gonna go to Manitoba and go see my friend Brent, Halfass Customs. Definitely check out his channel. Let's get to the airport. I just left this thing on the seat and they had to go run and grab it for me. I was so worried that I didn't have a camera for this trip, but they got it. So we're about to leave pretty soon here. YVR Airport. Got myself the, treated myself the exit row, you know. Look at who I found. I got Esther. Brent's cruising around outside. He's gonna...
It was too cheap to pay for parking indoors.
You heard it from the source. All right, we're heading outside. Gonna go hop in the truck and get to St. Anne. All right, welcome to Halfass Customs. There's Brent. There's the car we're gonna work on. There's his sign. There's all his car bodies. I don't know what else to tell you. If you're not following this guy, you should. Halfass Customs, Brent here. And we're gonna do a ton of work on this 3-window coupe today. If you have not heard or are not in the know, what happened to this thing?
Well, I feel like I was 70% into it before we lost it in the shop, the fire there, so. Well, we didn't lose it. We still got it.
We still got it.
You came out, man, it was back in the little garage when I was in there, so we we're at the stage, I don't know, we're trying to rebuild it now. We kind of hammered it out and made it look like a car, more like a car.
Yeah.
I've been playing with it a little bit and kind of getting a few, I shouldn't say playing a bit, I got it clean. I kind of worked on my rear fenders, got them a little better, but we still need to do a whole lot of tweaking on the body here yet.
It already looks so much better than it did after the fire, but like, I think in the camera it probably looks better than it is. When I first walked in here too, I was like, oh, that thing's great. But we're gonna address a lot of the issues with the warp that has happened. Like, you can see how kind of weak the metal became, and like, what, I mean, it's terrible. It was a shop fire that just, the whole building collapsed on this thing. And we did the best we could, but we're gonna save it. You know, I think most people probably wouldn't try to save this. But that's part of
a 36 Ford, so this is kind of my...
Yes, this is a Dodge. This is not a 36 Ford. Little did we know. It has a good look though. Like, this is fully Brent's creation. Like, it's so many different cars cut together. It wasn't actually a coupe. He's got chunks of a four-door.
Dodge, Plymouth. For sure that. I don't know if there's any Chrysler in it. I can't remember.
Yeah, it's a Mopar product except for the motor.
Gonna be the motor, yeah.
Can you guess what the motor's gonna be? Might start with an L and with an S. Anyway, that is what we're working on. Welcome to Halfass Customs. I'm gonna be here for the next 2 videos probably. Just hanging out and having fun. This is like a little vacation for me. Just come visit my friend, work on a car, do some fun stuff. Once again, couldn't do any of this without you guys. Thank you very much for subscribing, watching any business, like the new hammers. This is also a break from that. You guys bought so many hammers. I've been just like doing too many CNCs. So I'm out here to switch the brain off and make some parts for this car. So thanks a lot, everybody. Catch you next time. Don't forget to subscribe to Brent's channel. He's gonna have content on this car right through to the end, and content of me being here for a couple of days. So catch you next time.